me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance.
Good Monday morning, everybody. How are you doing today? I hope you all had an incredible weekend. It is Monday, August the 14th, 2023. It is Monday, and this is kind of the interesting thing. I would since we've been on just Mondays, typically I come on and help you guys remember what day it is, because where's my bell? You guys, I have not been reminded to bring my bell back to my desk. Somebody please remind me after the show is over. At any rate, usually I have to remind everybody what day it is because I have to remind myself what day it is. But since we've only been on Mondays, you know now when you see me that it is in fact Monday. And so that should help you out with what day it is. I hope you guys had an incredible weekend. I would love to hear about what's bringing you joy, happiness, excitement, and all that good stuff today in the comments. So please let me know where you're joining from and, of course, what's bringing you joy today. I have a lot to share coming up on this show, including the sentiment that happiness is really close by. And I'm going to be telling you guys a little bit of my own personal story and why I think I'm so passionate about doing things locally right now, among other things. So I'm going to be sharing a little bit about that coming up. But if you're new here to the show, my name is Jessica Dugas, and I'm super excited to have you here today. You are watching Project Joy Live, which is your favorite weekday morning talk show, giving you a triple shot of good vibes in the morning. And so we're going to be talking about happiness being close by this morning. We're also going to share with you some of the fun things that I did over the last few days that brought me a lot of happiness, joy, excitement, and it's going to tie into, of course, our topic today as well. And I would love to hear about the things that are making you happy today, bringing you lots of joy. And like I said, let me know where you're joining from as well. Also going to talk about national days coming up here in just a moment as well. And birthdays, of course, at the end of the show. So if you recently had a birthday, please let us know so that we can celebrate you at the end of the show. Also because there's a lot of good birthdays today as well. I'm very excited about that. In the world of national days today, first of all, it is National Creamsicle Day. National Creamsicle Day. Gee, I love a creamsicle. Listen, I'm not going to lie. I love the creamy vanilla center and paired with the orange. So good. So good. But it celebrates the creamy citrus dessert on a stick. During the height of the summer, what better way to enjoy refreshment than with a creamsicle? Creamsicle is the brand name of an ice cream treat. It consists of vanilla ice cream on a popsicle stick with an outer coating of sherbet. And before you guys come at me and you're like, Jessica, how could you, as a vegan, like that? There are actually vegan creamsicles. Okay, so go check them out. I can't remember the name, the brand name that we've seen in the store, but they're super easy to make yourself as well too. So there's recipes and stuff. Just use your friend Google. But it consists of vanilla ice cream on a popsicle stick with an outer coating of sherbet. I don't know about sherbet. It was always for me like an orange like popsicle. I don't think I ever had sherbet on the outside, but here we are. Um, while many other flavors now exist, the original flavor was orange. Yeah, I think as a kid, I had orange, but then I remember having other flavors, cherry and things like that too. But let me know if you like a creamsicle. The flavor combination, I think, of orange and cream has gone beyond the creamsicle. I've seen candies, I've seen, orange and cream cakes. In fact, we made an orange and cream cake for one of my kids' birthdays. So I think the flavor thing has kind of been around, but let me know if you like that as well. Happy Monday, Miss Brittany. It's good to see you today. She said I would join as we're talking about creamsicles. I know, right? Like that is my luck. I always will turn on something when I'm hungry, but like I don't really know it. And then they start talking about food. And I'm like, oh, well, here we go. Here we go with the food. I love a creamsicle though. Very good. But apparently, 11, I didn't see, I didn't know this about the creamsicle. An 11-year-old Frank Epperson inspired the creation when he invented the original popsicle back in 1905. I did not know that the creamsicle had been around that long. After mixing up a powdered soda, he left the beverage overnight with the stirring stick into it. A powdered soda. Hold on. I'm going back to this now. A powdered soda? What is this? I have no idea. Uh, but he left the beverage overnight with the stirring stick in it. Temperatures dropped unusually low that night, and the next morning, Epperson found the frozen liquid on a stick. He dubbed the creation the Epsicle. Sometime later, he changed the name to Popsicle. I did not know this story. This is very interesting. Several generations obviously have enjoyed the fruity frozen treats and they continue to do so. So that's really interesting. An 11-year-old invented the creamsicle. I don't know. I'm still stuck on powdered soda. Anybody know the history of powdered soda? Do we need to have an episode on this? I have never heard of this before. So at any rate, it's also World Lizard Day. Do you like lizards? Have you ever had lizard as a pet? Let me know. But celebrates a specific type of reptile. The day also encourages us to show appreciation for lizards and learn more about them. A lizard is considered a reptile, which is characterized by its scaly skin. Other features all reptiles have include long bodies and tails, 4 legs, and movable eyelids. That's exciting. Most lizards lay eggs. However, there are some lizards that give birth to live babies. There are about 6,000 species of lizards. Lizards are found on every continent except Antarctica. Most kinds of lizards absorb water from their food, which means they don't need to be near water. Lizards are cold blooded, which means they need sunshine in order to survive. A lizard diet consists of a variety of foods, including plants, insects, and eggs of small animals. Yum. Lizards range in size from 2 inches in length to over 11 feet. A lizard has a tail that regenerates, which means it grows another one if it breaks off. Some lizards can also change color. It's very interesting. My daughter did a whole homeschool section on lizards, which is really interesting. And so we were down the lizard rabbit hole for a long time. And it's interesting because I remember occasionally seeing a newt here in Connecticut growing up. Occasionally I would see one outside. I have not seen any lizards since moving back to Connecticut at all. But when I lived in Florida, there are lizards literally everywhere. Everywhere there are lizards down there, which is very interesting. So, but it's funny to me. I'm just thinking about this now, how occasionally I would see a newt or a lizard growing up here in Connecticut, and I have not seen one since I've moved back. Where did the lizards go? I have no idea. Let me know if you guys see lizards where you are out and about, or if you only see them like at zoos and things like that. But let me know what the lizard situation is where you are, because regardless, it is World Lizard Day today, so we need to have appreciation for the lizard. Let's see what else we have going on today. This is interesting. Okay, it's National Navajo Code Talkers Day. National Navajo Code Talkers Day. Each year on August 14th, National Navajo Code Talkers Day honors the contributions of the Native Americans who brought their unique unique abilities to the World War II effort. The day also highlights their impact on U.S. code and the Native American language that made it possible. While code talkers were instrumental during World War II, the United States military used the Native American language in their coded messages before. During World War I, the Choctaw tribe's language was called upon to relate coded messages. One member integral in creating the military code was Philip Johnston. While he was not Navajo, Johnston did speak the language fluently. He also recruited the native speakers necessary to the code talker's success. Initially, there were 29 code talkers. However, that number would grow until 1968. The program remained classified. At that time, the United States presented the original 29 Navajo code talkers with congressional gold medals. Additionally, the remaining Navajo code talkers were presented with congressional silver medals. It's really interesting. I was just talking to somebody the other day about history and how like I just didn't care at all growing up. In fact, I remember who I was talking to about this now. Our guest, Rana Massoud, is going to be representing the country of Lebanon on the Breakthrough Show, Breakthroughs Around the World, on Friday. And we were having this conversation about, as kids, we weren't really into history. We weren't really, interested. I don't really think we saw the value. We didn't care. And it's funny, as you get older, you're like, oh, yeah, it's starting to make a little bit of sense now. It's starting to, I guess we should have paid attention to that because it can repeat itself, right? So this is really interesting history. Definitely check out Navajo Code Talkers information about that. It's very interesting history here in the United States. So I'm going to be doing a little more rabbit hole research, as we like to call on that as well. Adam Duvall is here this morning from across the pond. I saw your video. You have an amazing singing voice. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We're going to be talking about what I've done over the last few days here coming up in a moment. One of those things was going to sing at karaoke, and I posted a tiny little clip, and I appreciate that. But yeah, it was a good time. Speaking of wildlife, I opened door last night and there was a hedgehog at my front door, so I fed it cat food and actually ate it. And then there are hedgehogs coming to doors now. There's a hedgehog. We don't have hedgehogs running around here. There might be a possum or a raccoon or a cat or a dog. What else could you see outside? We're not going to go back to this conversation though about weird shit that happens going off the bats that were in my living room. Okay. There are hedgehogs at the front door, like hedgehogs just roaming around where you live. I don't even know what to say about this. I've never seen a hedgehog in the wild. Brittany said salamanders used to be all around as a kid, but I haven't seen any in a long time. That's the same as me too. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I remember seeing them growing up, but I haven't seen any since coming back here. So it's interesting to me. I know that there is always less the further north you go because obviously, like it says, the lizards need sunshine, but yeah, it's a whole thing, Brittany. And she does, Adam, go. I wish you were there, Brittany. You know what kills me though about karaoke? Um, everybody that was there, that were wildly drunk. There's always those real special people at karaoke who are living their best lives. And I am jealous of them because I still, even singing karaoke, even growing up in around music and being on the stage and performing, singing, playing instruments, being in plays, I still get nervous on stage. And that's going to tie into another experience that I'm going to share with you guys about my last couple days as well. Listen, I want to know what you guys did this past weekend. What something you did over the weekend that brought you joy, and also, just what was your weekend like? What'd you do? We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back and talk about our topic today, which is that happiness is in fact close by. Okay, all right, we're going to be right back after this. Don't go anywhere, everybody. We'll be right back. Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com. Welcome back to Project Joy Live. It is Monday, August the 14th, 2023. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas. Super excited to have you here this morning on the Breakthrough Show Network. I hope you guys had an incredible weekend. I have been making a real conscious effort to do a lot more exploring since I've been back here in my home state of Connecticut. I've been back here over a year now. And it's really interesting because I left this area when I was around 19, 20 years old. And I really feel like, and I can say this having been raised here, left, and come back, that I took so much for granted in this area. And there's part of me that wonders if that's not like an, um, you know, maybe lack of experience. Is it just a grass is greener sort of situation? And I think back to one of my favorite movies, and I've quoted this in probably every show that I've hosted at this point. At some point, I have quoted Anne of Green Gables, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. But Anne has a moment where she says, I went looking for my dreams outside of myself and discovered it's not what the world holds for you, it's what you bring to it. And I think in essence, that's so true in what we talk about here on Project Joy, that we do a lot of times searching outside of ourselves for joy, happiness, peace, all of these different things. And I think at the period of time in my life where I left, my home area here in southeastern Connecticut, I was doing just that. I was looking for that joy, peace, love, happiness, acceptance, all of those things that we desire, I think, as human beings outside of myself. And so we go on these trips, and I think about, for example, my brother Gregory travels often. He's always planning his next big trip, right? Like went to Ireland, went to Iceland. He's planning on going to Japan. There's all these big trips that he has in mind. And I always used to dream of doing that myself, like really going outside of myself, and trying to explore. And I think there's absolutely room and an understanding for people who just like to travel and see new things. And that's not really what I'm talking about here. I think it's absolutely normal, fine, and wonderful to go want to see new places and experience other cultures and things like that. But I think a lot of times, especially as we're going in from our adolescence into early adulthood and things like that, we are pumped to go to these new places because we are in search of something. And it's more of a deeper meaning um than just seeing new things and experiencing other cultures and other things. And sometimes we're on this search, this trek to try to find something else, like feel like something is missing. And that was the experience I had, I think, when I left this area initially. And so coming back, I've really made it a goal to go see and experience new things in this area that I might have missed before. So many times we want to like go on that, like I said, that big trek, but we're missing the fact that there is so much joy and happiness and experiences to be had close by us. This is a very touristy area where I live here in southeastern Connecticut. We have a lot of things here that people from outside come to see and experience. I've shared a lot of them before, but some of them being, we have Foxwoods and Mohegan Sun, which are two of the biggest casinos in the United States. We also have Pfizer, the Sub Base, the Coast Guard Academy, General Dynamics. We have Mystic, which in itself, you have Mystic Pizza from the movie Mystic Pizza. You have Mystic Seaport. You have the aquarium. You have all of these things in this area. And then not even to mention that it's the coast. So there are beaches up and down the coast that everybody likes to participate in. Um, so there are all these things to do. And I'm not sure growing up that I really experienced, I mean, I experienced some of it. I mean, I went to Fort Griswold in school, the aquarium, Mystic Seaport, things like that. But there are a lot of little places that I don't think I ever really got to experience. And I think sometimes we're in a place, where we live somewhere for a long period of time. And I know Brittany and I have talked about this before as well, where we live somewhere for a long period of time and we kind of can take it for granted. Like if your area is super popular for something, it becomes, oh, that's the tourist thing to do. And we don't go really experience it. So I've wanted to do a lot of that since I've been back. In addition, I've also been really reconnecting with the experience that I had growing up here as well. I mentioned before being on stage a lot and performing. I haven't done that in many, many years. I am, in my mind, 100% off my game of what I used to have before. But I went and sang karaoke on what night was that we went? I just turned, my husband was there a second ago, but I think that was Saturday night. Saturday night. They had karaoke over here at Sneakers in Groton, Connecticut, and went in, and I sitting at the bar was a friend of mine from school days. And so you guys know I've talked till I'm blue in the face about that experience here, coming back to my hometown and literally running into everybody everywhere I go. Um, but Chrissy and I had a really good time having conversation and catching up and everything. And then was karaoke time, and I got on stage and I sang, and it's been a really long time since I've done that. I was basically harassed into into singing by my husband and my daughter, who was texting me as well. But it's one of those things I was saying, I wish Brittany was there. I wish I had some other friends there, because it's a much more enjoyable experience at karaoke when you have like a cheering section over to the side. So next time, Brittany, I'm picking you up to go there. But I sang karaoke, and then yesterday I wanted to do what I've been talking a little bit about, which is exploring a little bit of this area. And there is a vegan restaurant in Torrington that just opened 4 months ago called Love It Vegan. I'm going to show you guys Love It Vegans in Torrington, Connecticut. There's the picture that I took from a little bit farther back there on the other side of the road. But we wanted to have some vegan food. And so we went to go check out Love It Vegan. Like I said, they've only been open about 4 months, is what I've been told. And I had the beautiful opportunity to meet the owner of Love It Vegan, whose name is Amy. She's incredible. And the food was so good. It was a really nice vibe. It was Sunday, so it wasn't like a bustling area down there. It was quiet in the morning. They had a huge menu. One of the specials that they had was a watermelon rind bruschetta. Really delicious, you guys. I can't even tell you. It was so good. Had some fries, of course, because y'all know how I feel about the fries and the ketchup. So good. Also, so I had this was you can't even see the bread. The sandwich was so big, you guys. You can't even see the bread. But I had a oyster mushroom grinder, which was absolutely incredible. The sauce and everything was so good, but like you can barely see like the bread on the kind of on the edge there. It was delicious. I brought some cupcakes home for the kids. They had some gluten-free vegan Oreo cupcakes, which were amazing. And then this is myself and the owner, Amy. She is so kind, you guys. So nice. She completely came, came out to entertain all of my questions and yapping about different things. Their restaurant is very LGBTQ plus friendly. You could see their sign there, Loving It Vegan. And they have lots of things in their art and everything, pictures of some animals from sanctuaries, which is really nice for a vegan place. Plants, of course, because hello, plant based, lots of art. It was a really nice time. It was a really nice atmosphere, and also incredible food, of course. If you're ever in the Torrington, Connecticut area, definitely go check them out. We had the vegan restaurant that was here in New London, Connecticut, Right Path, closed. We just got word that the Stand restaurant here in Connecticut closed. And then as we're on our way home last night, we saw that I think it's called Arles and Boggs, that they're retiring. I'm hoping they don't close. I'm hoping they sell and someone continues it. But we saw that they're retiring and getting rid of the restaurant too. So there's so many amazing plant-based restaurants that are struggling right now. There's so many businesses, period, that are struggling right now, that I feel like it's so important that we support our local businesses instead of going to the big chains, which I know are sometimes easier. I just support local, shop local. If you're gonna spend your money somewhere, like make an effort to, keep these businesses going that work so hard to support their families and everything else. So definitely check them out. Like I said, Love It Vegan is in Torrington, Connecticut. So check them out if you're not. We're gonna be back for sure because there was 800 other things on the menu that that I wanted to try. It's so good, so good. Brittany's like, I'll be ready. I'm coming. It's happening. Um, so what else did I get? In addition, speaking of the music and what else, lack of confidence and getting nervous and everything else, back in the beginning of high school, so freshman and sophomore year of high school, I was attending St. Bernard High School in Uncasville, Connecticut, which is a private Catholic high school. Very, very small classes, things like that. And we had an amazing, really young music teacher named Mr. S. His name is Wayne Spletstozer, but no one could really say Spletstozer. So everybody just called him Mr. S. But he was super, super young, really new, right out of college. And I don't think I really knew until recently that it was actually his first teaching job. I had no idea. But he was my music teacher, and under his instruction, I became drum major of the marching band. Now, St. Bernard High School hadn't had a marching band in years and years and years and years and years. They just didn't have the funding to do it. They didn't have the people that were interested in leading it, etc. And so I really I was pumped up about this opportunity, but I also remember being very, very nervous. And um I played several instruments growing up, but I've always just had a passion for music. And so he encouraged me to be the drum major of this reimagined marching band. We literally got, I wish I had pulled up the picture before I came on here. Let me see actually if I have it on here or not. I don't have it on here. Anyway, we pulled the old marching band uniforms out of mothballs and everything else, and it was a really cool experience. Um, and I remember thinking back to that time, I remember feeling like I just don't, I like, I don't, excuse me for the microphone. I don't have enough experience to do this. I don't have enough confidence to be the drum major out in front of everybody and lead the marching band. I remember feeling like I'm not smart enough for this. I'm not a good enough musician for this. Like I don't know every instrument, so how could I possibly be in front of I just remember really, really doubting myself. And like I said, anytime I've ever been on stage, it's always that doubt creeps up. I always get very, very nervous, even if I know I'm good enough to do the whatever project I'm doing. It like I don't know, it just that doubt tends to creep in. And I remember just Mr. S being so encouraging, and it was a really tough time in my life at that time, and for a lot of different reasons that I'm not going to get into on the show here this morning. And so at any rate, Mr. S is now teaching in Torrington, Connecticut. So I had this desire to go to this restaurant yesterday in Torrington, and I happened to be scrolling through my news feed yesterday and saw that Mr. S was going to be doing a fundraiser for the band that he teaches now at Torrington High School. And I thought I'll just go by there. I'll just go by there and say hi and see what he's up to. So I had the opportunity after 26 years, you guys, to go say hey to Mr. S and say thank you. And it was just a really funny moment. I think he was super, super shocked that I was there. And it was hilarious because all of his students were there as well, his current students, and they were at just inundating me with was he always bald? Was he always weird? Was he always, all of these different things. And so it was a really, really sweet moment. And just thank you, Mr. S, for everything. Even though I only had him as a teacher for 2 years, it was something that really did have an impact on me. All of my music teachers throughout my school career really had an impact on me wildly. And so I thank you so much, Mr. S, for that. And also our conversation continued yesterday, and I appreciate tell people that you appreciate them. I just want to say that tell people that you appreciate them, because sometimes they don't know. And I don't think Mr. S was ever aware of the impact that he had on my life during that time. And so just to do me a favor today, you guys, and tell someone you appreciate them, because the chances that they even realize the impact that they had on your life are slim to none. Slim to none, you guys. So definitely check that out. Also, what else did we do yesterday? I point out a couple of things. We went to Middlebury's Best and had they have some soft serve vegan ice cream there with the kids. There's a little gnomes. Did you guys see the gnomes? Look how cute. Anyway, little ice cream gnomes. The girls had some soft serve ice cream, so definitely check them out. All of these links, by the way, are in the comments for Love It Vegan, Middlebury's Best, and this is Lavender Pond Farm that we went to check out as well. Gorgeous lavender farm in Connecticut. So check them out. The link is in, all of the links for these places are in the description too. What is it? Oh, after the lavender farm, my kids passed out in the car. And then I came home and made some delicious food, because the point of this episode is that happiness is close to home. We don't always have to go far to find things that make us happy or bring us excitement or bring us peace. And I would encourage everybody, I have kind of a call to action in addition to the other one that I shared of sharing with someone what they've done in your life, that you're grateful for them, that you appreciate them, that they've had an impact on your life. In addition to all of that, if you find yourself wanting to go far from home, if you find yourself being pulled to escape, to go somewhere else, to go far, I encourage you to you absolutely explore. I want to just say that right out the gate. Absolutely go explore. However, I would encourage you to pause and ask yourself if you have explored close to home yet. Do you really appreciate the things that you have around you today? Do you appreciate the joy that you bring to the world, the happiness that you bring to the world, the peace that you bring to the world? Have you explored that joy and happiness and peace within? Have you explored that joy and happiness and peace just in your immediate surroundings? How about in your household? How about in your household, in your hometown? Start in here and move outward instead of always looking to run, always looking to fly halfway across the world to find something that you're missing, that it could have been right here the whole time. I go back to that quote from Anne Shirley that says, I went looking for my dreams outside of myself and discovered it's not what the world holds for you, it's what you bring to it. So I just want to encourage you to do that today as we are continuing our joy journey this week. And I hope that brings you an element of furthering your joy journey this week as we go forward. Super quick break, you guys. Super quick. And we're going to be back for birthdays. Live. It is time for birthdays. I have several that I have. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to run out of breath. In the celebrity world today, Mila Kunis is 41 years old today. Halle Berry, 57. Magic Johnson, 64 years old today. Steve Martin is 78 years old today. I can't believe it. Tim Tebow, 36 years old. Jackie Harry is 67 years old today. Amazing, amazing. Happy birthday to all those celebrities. Recently, we've had some birthdays to celebrate. Lori Vanderwerf had a birthday. Haley Lynn, Kelly Kerrigan. My aunt Joanne Garnett had a birthday. Happy birthday, Joanne. Also, Breakthrough Show Network guest who is fabulous, Brunella Costagliola, had a birthday. Also, Miss Nita had a birthday. That's who we knew growing up. I knew her as growing up. Anita Thomas had a birthday, or Miss Nita as we call her. But she had a birthday, so happy birthday to her as well. Today, Steve Gallo, who I've sang with before on Sing Snap, happy birthday. And the Silky Beast himself, Uncle Beast, as my kids know him by, Mr. Kerry W. Hall the third. Happy birthday, my dear friend. I hope you have an incredible day. And with that, let us sing our birthday song. Are you ready? Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mila Kunis, Halle Berry, Magic Johnson, Steve Martin, Tim Tebow, Jackie Harry, Lori Vanderwerf, Haley Lynn, Kelly Kerrigan, Aunt Joanne Garnett, Brunella Costagliola, Anila Thomas, Steve Gallo, and Mr. Silky Beast. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all those that are celebrating today and who have celebrated recently. Don't forget to let me know if you have a birthday coming up so that I can celebrate you on the next episode of Project Joy Live. Lots of goodness happening this week on the Breakthrough Show Network. Are you ready for it? I hope you are. Also, we have a new episode of My Way coming up on Tuesday, 5:05 p.m. Eastern Time with the fabulous sales expert, Jeff Goldberg. Don't miss this show. It's going to be so good. Then on Wednesday morning at 10 a.m., we have an all new episode of Declutter for Change live with Heather Clark. She's going to be sharing with us how to declutter our homes right now. Right now, it's happening. So make sure you tune in for that at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Also, coming up, I mentioned her early on, the Breakthrough Show, Breakthroughs Around the World series will be live, brand new episode at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday with Rana Massoud representing the country of Lebanon. We are so close to, I think we might have 8 or 9 countries left, you guys. I am so excited about this series and that we are almost to the end of it, but also what an incredible ride it has been to visit all of these countries in an effort to honor our differences, celebrate our connection, and just it's just been such an incredible experience, you guys. So make sure you check that out to learn all about the country of Lebanon and also the amazing things that Rana Massoud is doing in the world. Raina Massoud is doing in the world. So make sure you check that out on Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And then, of course, on Sundays, don't miss new episodes of Spirit Sessions, A View of the Light at 12 p.m. Eastern Time here on the Breakthrough Show Network. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I want to remind you to make joy a priority in your life today and every day. I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.